alive. Welcome, everyone, to the 57th episode of Playtest This, featuring Joshua Bowman's A Beach Day. Tonight, I am wearing a gnome hat in honor of the friend of the show, Ammon Anderson's failure to be able to show up on the Meeple Syrup Talk show. And so, Ammon, this one's for you. Moving on, let's introduce our star-studded panel, starting with Sasha Jell.
Oh, hello. That's me. I am a designer in Portland. I teach board game design to middle schoolers and elementary school kids. And I have a bunch of different designs. I also run Playtest PDX, Portland sort of design meetup group thing. And yeah, that's me.
Trevor.
How am I supposed to follow that?
Well, you can't. You can't. That's why I had him go first.
I'm Trevor, also a game designer. I have a few things that I'm doing, but mainly concentrating on Alcatraz Escape the City. If you like one versus all, hidden movement, really tight gameplay, maybe you should check it out.
Nailed it. Mike Nichols.
Yeah, Mike Nichols from Ohio. I am a designer and I have a few games in the works, nothing published. I used to have plans on how I was going to get things published, but I don't anymore. So, yeah, but maybe in the future you'll see my name on a box somewhere.
Yeah. I think anybody who has tried designing a game resonates with what you just said. I had plans and then I didn't. Dang it. And then things changed. I am Evan Halbert. Go buy every copy of After the Empire you can find, as well as the solo mode. I designed that all by my lonesome, and I had fun with it, and I hope you do too. Okay, that's enough of that. Josh, introduce yourself.
Oh, hello. I am Josh Bowman. I'm trying to be a designer. I do have one game out, which is Guns or Treasure, Pirates and Monkeys, an expansion to Guns or Treasure, which I helped develop from Castillo Games. I also am a co-host of the podcast Tabletop Submarine that I run with Andrew Stiles, another designer who's killing it right now. He's got a couple games that are going to be coming out the next year or so. I am also the COO of the newly formed CakePie Games, which is the game we're going to be testing today is its first game. So excited about that, new ventures and stuff like that. So, but that's me. I've been doing the design thing for 3 years and have had like a million almost signs, but never quite made it there. And so I decided to post my own game. No, that's not why I decided to do it. But that's me. That's kind of me in a nutshell. I live here on the East Coast of North Carolina. So party on the beach.
Nice. Okay, so I saw this recently formed CakePie. Who are the other two folks involved in that?
So there's only one as of right now.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah. So Devin Metlin was with us for a little bit, but he had to step away.
Gotcha.
Due to personal reasons. He was great. Well, he helped us set up the community. So all props to Devin Metlin. The other one, his name is Brennan Smith. He is also an Ohio native.
Mm-hmm.
He is. Yeah, go Ohio. He's still very new to the game as well. He has done some development for some companies, smaller like publishers and stuff like that. But he's never had a design of his own out in the world yet. And so we met at Origins last year. We've known each other for a couple of years, like in the Facebook, universe, just kind of like how we all kind of know each other in that aspect. We met first time, hung out for a little bit, and as I've been brewing this idea up for this publishing house, I had a gut feeling to ask him if he'd be interested, and that's how he jumped on.
Yeah,
so.
I think I met Brennan. He works at a game shop, right? Called right? Doesn't he work at a game
Yeah, he does work. He works at a game store, yeah.
Yeah. What was that one called? Dungeons?
I actually don't know because I don't know what it's called, only because he doesn't like talking about it when we do game design. He's like,
We don't talk about the game store.
Game stores for published games, not these games. That kind of stuff. So
We are adventurers. That's land. We're on sea.
exactly.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and it's good to have you. Why don't we move on into the teach?
Excellent. Okay, so this is Beach Day. Beach Day is a 1 to 4 player competitive card tile laying game. What we're doing in the game is that we are on the beach, we are having fun in the sand, and we're trying to make the most pretty, the most extravagant, the most wonderful formations using shells, starfish, and all sorts of sand castles and water to have just a fun time on the shore. So that's kind of the whole theme of it. This is meant to be the whole premise of CakePie and Oppressor games is that the games are a piece of cake to set up and easy as pie to teach. So really quick to get into it, really easy to teach. And it's meant for veteran hobby gamers, like ourselves, to help maybe newer gamers be introduced to some concepts of the hobby, like tile laying or like enclosure and stuff like that. So it's meant to help welcome them in with welcoming themes. But also if, experienced gamers have like 5 minutes at a bar or are just waiting to start a bigger game, they can put this out and have a great, still crunchy experience without being overwhelming for people. So that's kind of going into what we're trying to accomplish with this, but I'll get into how you play. So to set up, each of us are going to take one random card from this pile that went to the oblivion. So if you all want to just draw one randomly from here, and then just place it face up in front of you. And you'll need your own little space because you'll be laying tiles down, stuff like that.
Okay.
So in the game, what's going to happen? What's up?
I think I took one too many.
How dare you? I will take this back then. Just put it right here.
Sorry.
So in the game, what you're going to be doing is that you will be trying to arrange these seashells, tiles, and stuff in order to get points. There are 3 different symbols you're going to be paying attention to. There are sandcastles and water, starfish and shells, and then beach balls. Today we're testing these 3 guys out. The game actually has modular scoring, so you can actually, randomly distribute out different ways the game scores. So there's lots of variability, so you're not just doing the same thing over and over again. But these are the ones that we're going to be testing today, wrong spaces, but that's okay. Which are going to be these guys, which I'll get to later. I'll explain what you're doing on your turn first. So on your turn, there's going to be this main deck right here, but also 2 face-up decks right here. Call them discard piles for lack of a better term as of right now. On your turn, you'll do one of 2 things. You either A, take a card face-up from the 2 discard piles, and then place it to your little space in front of you, your beach, as we'll call it, your beach. Or you'll draw the top 2 cards of the deck here. You'll look at them, pick one, and add one of them to your beach, and place the other one in a discard pile on top, effectively making a new top card. And that's your choice. That's pretty much how you're choosing your tiles in your game. Now, once you take your tile, you have the placement rules are as follows. You can always place your card next to any card like such. You can do off center like that, like if you want to just make sure there's a connection right there. You can even cover the cards like that, or like so. Or you can even do that if you want to. But once you cover some things up, they no longer count as being there. So even though like right here, I cover up 3 shells, those shells go away. But if I cover up half a sandcastle, the sandcastle goes away. You have to have the whole sandcastle there. Half a sandcastle is not a sandcastle. So you can pretty much cover, place, and do whatever you want as long as there's some sort of connection. After it turns over, you'll play it past the next player, and you keep going around until the deck completely runs out. There'll be about 12 cards per player in the deck. So as you're placing cards down, these are going to be things you're paying attention to. For one is sandcastles and water. For sandcastles and water, you'll notice that it'll say that they want your sandcastle next to water. You get 1 point. Points are sand dollars in this game, so you get 1 sand dollar for doing that. If you're able to completely surround the sandcastle on all sides, pretty much like making a moat, you get 10 points. So that's the first scoring condition for this game. The second one, involving some starfish and shells, is surrounding the starfish and shells. So you're wanting to have each side of a starfish surrounded by some sort of shell. If you are able to surround it, you get 1 point for each of the different for surrounding it. So you get 4 points. But if you get all the same shells surrounding it, you're going to get 9 points. So there's some incentive to do that. Over here for beach balls are fun because beach balls are actually on their squares are only half a beach ball. So you got to get two halves together. You'll notice that some in the game there'll be like the image is not necessarily symmetrical. That doesn't matter as long as you have two half semicircles together. That counts as a beach ball. This is all prototype art and stuff like that. So whoever has the most beach balls is going to get 10 points. Whoever has the second most gets 6, and whoever has the third most gets third. Fourth place in this instance gets nothing. And those are the 3 scoring conditions in the game. Now, there's also 2 other symbols, crabs and seagulls. Crabs and seagulls are pretty simple. For every crab you have that shows on your board, it's worth 1 point. And for every seagull you have, it's worth -1 point. So covering up seagulls will get rid of those minus points. Now, you also have this little crab card right here that each of you should have. If at any point in the game you choose to cover up a crab, you flip this card like that, and it's a little red crab. That means on your turn, instead of drawing 2 or just picking one from the top of the discard pile, you can flip that card around on your turn and then choose one discard pile to look through to find a card maybe you wanted that might have been missed by previous stuff in the game. This is a new thing we're testing, so any feedback on that is going to be appreciated. But just to clarify, you cover a crab, you flip over. The next turn, you can choose to do that if you want. And that's pretty much the game. Once the deck runs out, we'll score all of our points. Whoever has the most points wins.
Cool.
Any questions or clarifications I can give you guys?
You said seagulls are negative points, so you want to cover them up. Is that true?
Yeah, they're worth -1 point.
At the end of the game. Okay.
Because seagulls are bastards.
This is a scoring additive or either or.
Where at? If so, it's
is it 6 plus 10? Or
oh no, it's just 10. It's just
Got
either it's 10, yeah.
Trying to game the system.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Cool.
Is the crab something you can hang on to once you flip them, or you have to use it on the next turn?
You can hang on to it. But they're like, if you cover another crab for some reason, you don't get like double crabs. It's just, you have crab. Because crabs on the beach like to dig into the sand. Is the kind of the whole idea.
I got double crabs once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a fun experience.
No.
I guess another question is the multiple shells, does that not play a part because of the card that we have here? Or
yeah, in this game, it does not play a part.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, any other clarifications?
I'm just curious if these ever change out or if they're always the same.
They're different. So these, I wanted to test these ones for a couple of reasons, but there are different ones that you can view out. But we're still testing a lot of them. So
cool.
Okay. And the surrounding anything is just orthogonal. It's not diagonal. Is that right?
Yeah, only orthogonal.
Okay.
All right. Is everybody ready?
So ready?
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Whoever went to the beach most recently goes first.
Probably not me.
6 months or a year, maybe.
It's been a couple of years for me, so.
Oh, geez.
I can beat that.
I guess we live not that far away. Trevor, how about you?
I was in the ocean like a month ago.
That counts.
On a beach or in?
Well, you had to have.
Well, I had to go to the beach
I was gonna
first.
say, you must
Okay.
have traversed
Before
the
the
beach.
I mean,
to
you
get-
I feel
Unless
like
you were
could go to
airdropped
like a
in.
harbor.
I also went to a beach at a lake right around the same time. So
Boom.
That counts too.
You got
All
it.
right, Trevor, you first.
I don't want to go first.
Oh, well, that was your mistake for going
Yep.
swimming.
Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a card.
Or 2 from the top.
Yeah.
I'm going to go risky here for no reason.
Risque.
Bisky.
Oh
Risky
wait,
business.
where's my sandcastle?
You don't have a sandcastle.
Oh, you got to earn your sand. Oh, why do you?
Yeah.
have that?
Our random
Random.
starting locations gave us sandcastles.
Sorry, bud.
What kind of hot garbage is this?
So
Yeah.
our sandcastles always entirely on a tile, or can they be
They
like
they,
half
co-
one tile?
they cover 2 squares.
Yeah, but there's never going to be like half of a sandcastle.
Oh no, there's never. The only thing that's half are the beach balls.
Got it.
Can I rotate tiles?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay, so I'm taking one and throwing the other one on one of the discard piles.
Yes, sir.
And we get to see what you had.
All right, let's do this.
KO. Oh,
What do this start? Oh, that's just a different kind of shell. Okay.
you want to surround the star with the same kind of shell, right?
Is that what it was?
Yeah. You don't want to cover up the
Right.
star, otherwise it doesn't give points.
I can't do this though, can I?
You can. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Can I do?
No, that's cheating.
No, you can't do corners now. No, but you can do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. I think how many turns do you normally get?
Oh,
You're going to each character. You're going to have each character. Wow. You're going to have 12 cards by the end of it for a 4-player game.
Oh,
Or
okay.
13 with our first.
Yeah, 13 with your
card?
first one. Yeah.
Do I want to do that? Okay, so if I was to surround with like 4 of the same shell, same is good. Never mind.
Same
Yeah.
is good.
Same
Nada.
is better than different.
Same is good. Okay.
Same is good. Yes.
Same is good. Okay.
Wait. Yeah, somebody else can. Well, I know what I'm gonna throw away.
Well, you have to discard your card, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. I guess that would make more
But you have
sense.
to decide what you want to throw it on.
Oh, I don't want to give you either star, but hey, what happened? Oh, that is right. Never mind.
Bam,
This looked
bam.
weird.
Sasha.
My really long turn.
Guess I'll take.
Sorry, guys.
So does
Anything
this
less
get
would be
replaced
un-Trevor.
if
Oh.
it's empty?
No, the next time someone decides to discard a card, like they draw 2 and discard, it has to go to the empty pile.
Interesting. I guess I will draw 2. Let's go.
I'm still here. I just have to grab some.
I don't believe it.
So
I don't
the
think
game's over when this deck runs out, not when all of the tiles are gone, correct?
When all the tiles are gone.
Okay,
Because once the deck runs out, you'll take the discard piles and shuffle them back into a deck.
Okay.
But everyone's going to end up with 12 cards plus the one with their starting card.
Skinny Marinky Dinky Dink.
Guess I'll go like that and then discard this onto this one.
What? Some kind of jerk, huh?
You want another castle?
No.
I mean, you can start making waters be worth 2 points
I
each.
don't want another castle. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take this sucker.
2 volleyball or beach balls.
Can you do this more than once?
Oh yeah, and you can share too. So like you can have like you can like a castle like here, a castle here, and they can share water as long as it's surrounded completely. It's totally fine.
Whoop. Done. Just testing out those controls. Bam, bam.
I think that's flat. I can't tell.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's where it's going.
My turn.
Yeah.
Looks
Oh,
good. Okay. Good. Yeah.
I kind of need a castle. I better draw.
Or you can cover your crab and go hunting for a castle.
Or Dirty Rascal.
You dirty rascal.
Yeah, but I was away. I didn't see what you guys threw away.
There's a castle underneath.
There's a
it.
castle. There.
Okay. Now you tell me.
I've ruined everything for you.
Well, strategically, he wanted to wait until after you made your choice. But you can cover the crab now.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Can't just put it down, right? It's got to touch something.
Yeah.
It's gotta touch something, yeah.
It's all set up for that castle.
Yeah. Watch me not find one. Come on. Why am I on 60? That's stupid. Okay. And I can do that. Doesn't matter that that is kind of facing the wrong way.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, you crabby bastards.
Yeah.
There you go.
Crabby bastard.
Alternate title for the game.
Crabby bastard.
Only regret that I can't use both of these waters on this castle. I can't tuck this underneath, right? I assume.
Yeah, no tucking.
What are you whining about? I don't even have shelter.
Is a sandcastle shelter?
Yeah. A shelter from the storm until high tide, and then it's gone.
In my I'm not an engineer, just so you know.
But I
I make
play
poor
one on
decisions.
television.
I make very poor decisions on my where I live.
And then that's the end of my turn, right? So
Yep.
I took one of this card.
Well
Those are
then, in
Are
that
you allowed to cover this
Yes.
piece of the castle or
Yeah, the castle is just these two pieces.
those two? Okay,
Yeah.
so you can cover those two. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe I will be digging.
You get
Take another look, be smart now, baby. If I take this one and I do it like so.
too late, you put it down.
No.
Take
You took your
off.
hand off. You took your hand off. I just needed to visualize, okay? I'm taking this.
Illegal.
Oh. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Just go like that. Cool.
The first beach ball.
10 points currently.
Just trying to make you a target.
It looks more like a volleyball when it's put together like that.
Maybe you should judge your own little area, okay?
We judge our own balls here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, we do.
Really, Sasha, we got to keep an eye on. He smokes us every time.
I know, right?
About that. Trevor's looking to get his castle.
Heyo.
Are you telling me what I should take? Purposely not taking that.
Don't tell me
Good.
what to do.
I guess this card automatically comes with a point if it's got a shell on it, right?
Hmm?
Like this star and this.
I think you only get points if you have the star surrounded.
Yeah,
Right.
it has to be surrounded by shells.
Oh, it has to be surrounded to get the points. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the single point thing is just for the water and sandcastle, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This just gives me a boost. I only need 3 more.
Yeah.
Okay. That one's not going to happen.
Take your castle.
I'm just going to draw 2. No, I'm kidding.
I don't believe.
Might be crazy, but I'm not crazy. Okay, that's me.
Guess I'll draw 2.
I may be crazy, but I ain't crazy. Give me the one I want.
Do not know how I feel about this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For the most, are ties friendly, or how does that work?
Ties are friendly, yes. So if 2 people were to tie, they would both get 10 points, but then we get rid of 3rd place. So like 2nd place would still get 6, but then we know 3rd
Oh,
place.
brutal.
Oh, okay. You don't get rid of 2nd place?
No. That's just my own. That's my own personal thing. I never really liked that person. It's like I worked hard for 2nd. I should,
Hey, Sasha.
Yeah,
You've got crabs.
I do have crabs. Thank you.
You cannot choose to cover that one.
Yeah, that's good here.
Cheater. Cheater. Okay, well.
It is the time of year to eat some pumpkin.
I know, right?
True.
Badoink. This will just lock in that beach ball frenzy here. Done. Whoa, Mike's coming for me beach balls. Yar.
Trevor, what would you like to do on your turn?
Maybe draw 2? You should probably draw 2.
Don't you tell me.
Don't tell me.
Let's see. I think I'll take. Interesting. I'm gonna take this one. I'll throw this one back. And
throw it away.
You guys can go ahead. I'm good.
Oh.
Oops. Nope.
Cheetah.
There. I don't know. Let's do
it.
I don't need no beach balls.
I don't need no stinking beach balls. Cool.
That's it. How
That's
many
it.
castles is too many castles?
Let's find out.
That's the question and all questions, isn't it?
Let's find out.
I can use my crab to dig through this one card. But I will choose not to.
Well, I guess I was supposed to take my crab, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, did you cover a crab?
I did.
He's covered in crabs, people. I am gonna take a guy home with me tonight.
I told you that in confidence.
It's none of your business. Oh, that star's not going to do me any good right there. Oh, I don't like that. Hold on now.
And Trevor has such a density of symbols.
I know.
Yes. And 4 total points.
Well, you're also furthest along on completing a star.
Whoop. There we go.
Yeah.
Don't make me use those basketballs.
Oh, they're
do it.
basketballs now.
Well, I don't know what kind of beach day you're into, but
TK was asking, is there a rule about completely covering a previous tile?
You can completely cover a tile. That's totally fine.
Got it.
Is it me?
Yep.
I think I'll draw 2.
Good choice. Are you sure you don't want to use your crab?
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea what's in there. How many of each symbol do you generally see in the game? Are they equal, or is there more than one?
They're equal for the most part. There should be an even distribution.
Even distribution. Oh no.
son of a.
Ooh. What did I do with that then?
What have I done to myself? Yeah. What have I done?
Choices. Who thought it would be a good idea to give Trevor choices?
Not this guy.
Not this guy. Let's do.
Give me another castle.
Yes, I'll do this.
Hey, oh, that's looking pretty good on that green shell star.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
looking
like
nice.
that.
I'm going to take
Looking,
my
looking
water
What
where
is
I
it?
can get it.
Real nice.
It's
Poaching
good.
all my waters.
I guess I could do this. I'm missing out on 2 crabs. Just
That's-
2 points, but I also
that
get
is
2
2
points that has a
points.
crab.
Yeah, that is 2 points on the castle, and you get 2 crabs.
But it's also 2 points if I... Yeah, I think it's better just to leave it elsewhere.
It's your choice to skip the opportunity to get crabs.
I guess this is better. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. I will draw from the deck. um.
Bold play, Cotton.
Okay. Let me do this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
Ooh, a castle that has a water attached to it already?
Don't worry about me.
But technically, it's worth 0 though because of the seagull right there.
Oh, I didn't even
'Cause
see
what?
that seagull.
The seagull in the corner.
What about that seagull?
Not see that seagull
-1
spitting
point.
all over you.
Well, not right. Not at the end. It's not. Because that's going to get covered.
Well, it'll be hard to cover it without covering the crab or the castle.
No.
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 You're obviously wrong.
Have you ever thought about being right? Because currently you're messing it up.
Man. More castles.
I just keep giving Sasha choices.
TK wants to know if Josh spent weeks at the beach for research.
Well, I live 5 minutes from the beach, actually.
Beat
So-
beat search. Beat
Yeah, for beach search, beach search as we call it. But no, yeah, I grew up next to the beach here in North Carolina, so have many hours of just playing in the sand and stuff. So this game is 100% accurate what it's like playing in the sand.
It's another half a beach ball. Man,
Keep finding these things.
this beach is weird.
Okay, I
It was
guess.
actually I would put like beer cans and like
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, Sasha, you're
I don't-
killing it with those.
Well,
Cover the
I
crab,
don't know.
man. Do it. Do it.
I don't want to cover the crab. I don't think
Cover
this does
the
have a seagull
crab.
on it. It gives me the opportunity to get multiple points with teacher waters.
Cover the
Um,
crab.
let's see. Is there a better spot for this? Yeah, I guess we go here.
My turn.
I'm just gonna come down and kick your sandcastles down.
Do you get points for surrounding your castle with castles?
Don't touch my castles.
Yeah, you're supposed to surround your castles with water. Know that, right?
If you surround your castle entirely with castles, then it's 30 points.
Yeah, it's the secret card. It's actually a legacy game. You open up an envelope and you'll see that.
Sasha special.
I'm gonna take this here castle, which I might cover up later. Don't worry about it. But it gives me a point and takes away a negative point, so I'm pretty okay with that. Here you go. Take them shells and smoke them. Jim Carrey.
Oh, did you cover a crab?
Oh, I think I did. Flip it. Grab it. Just grab it.
Join the crab club.
Yep.
Okay, it's me. I think I'll draw two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, you can take that one, Sasha.
Every single time.
I know. Every single time.
Oh man, but Trevor does have the
It's fine. It's
10
fine.
bonus.
Oh, man, he's done it.
I should probably start looking for water.
Point out my points.
He's done it.
I now have the same points as Evan.
No, but you're off to a great start. I've actually got 14.
Oh, yes, you've got more than me. Never mind.
15, 16 currently with crabs. Sans crab, only 14.
Oh, did your crab count as a point?
At the end of the game, yeah.
I guess.
I've got all the crabs. I was known for it in college.
Oh, he's coming for you, Evan. He's coming for you.
You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare.
You actually drew cards that time, Sasha. What's the matter with you?
I was sick of playing castles. I feel like I was getting close to the too many castles.
You should have put the castle right there.
I mean, I could have, but it has a seagull on it, and so I'd be like losing a point, and then gaining 2 points. So it's like not netting me anything.
Heyo, look at
Oh,
everybody.
The crab that you're talking about that gets you points is the one that's on the card?
Yeah.
Or is it having your card flipped?
No, having the card flipped is just the power. From what I understand, having the crabs on your cards at the end.
Yeah. Crabs are going to be worth 1 point no matter what at the end of the game. Seagulls are -1 point. The card is just to tell you whether you can dig through the deck.
Yep.
The decks.
I think I'm
Oh,
gonna.
I didn't notice all the seagulls on Trevor's board.
It's a lot of seagulls. I know. I just took a seagull too. Apparently.
Trevor didn't notice them either.
um. Well then. That's very interesting.
I lost track. Whose turn is it? Oh, is that Evans?
It's my turn.
Okay.
Thank you much.
I was trying to count all my seagulls.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna do that. So, you know, I think what I might do is just, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that nobody takes away my beach ball empire.
Hmm.
You can't take my beach balls.
I'm ready to make a beach ball run.
No. It's like a cannonball run, but a little bit different.
A little bit nicer.
Less blood.
Trev or die.
Depending on the beach, yeah.
Cannonball Run was a race.
Yeah, it was.
I'm old. That was from the 80s. That was
Yes, it was.
an old movie.
Yes, it was.
Was it? Is it something else? I don't know what.
No, that's all it is.
Okay. Well, that wasn't very nice.
The best one on the beach, depending on the beach. It's definitely in the top 3.
Is it me?
Yep.
I believe so, yeah.
I feel like Mike is just the second to end person in blackjack. Like, do not let that guy get that shell.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got beach ball megalomania over here.
What can
All
I
right,
say?
I'm gonna draw 2.
Yeah, Evan's balling.
Ha. Get it?
I get it.
I didn't get it. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, sure. So balling.
Yeah. Aw.
Oh,
Come
you mean
on now.
Ooh, very nice.
Wow. Somebody's winning now.
What?
That was
What?
9 more points.
What's
Yeah.
this blue thing? Is that a shell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably want that pink shell, huh?
9 more points. Trevor's kicking my ass. I don't like it.
Kicking my
Oh, I accidentally
Whoa.
hit deal. I'll put this back in this file, please. Right here. Right, nope. Right here. Right here.
What?
No, I'm keeping mine.
The one on top was this one.
I doubt it.
No
I think.
backsies.
I doubt it. Nice cheating.
No, it was this one. Sorry.
I don't think so.
He left me with another
I doubt it.
sandcastle.
I did.
It
And
seems like
and a shell.
cheating.
Sasha paid me off before we went on the air.
It's just sad, like how much it matters that he beats me. You know, it's sad.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go let all the doves out of the dovecot.
You know, Sasha, this is
You
just
wouldn't dare.
playtesting, man. Winning and losing don't really matter. Because we're all winners here, okay?
That is true.
It's sad. Depending on the street. Oh yeah.
Got some more sandcastles.
Oh yeah. Is it back to me?
Wait, let me think about this placement really quick. Because I also have to discard.
Oh.
Shoot. I need to look through here really quick.
Definitely the top three.
Yeah, sure. Final answer.
If he had a
And
million
then-
castles.
Discarding this. Guess here.
If he had a million castles,
You gonna fortify your balls?
he would fortify his balls.
Down.
Nope.
He can't really utilize those balls very well on the board.
I actually did have a totally different plan that I just didn't do. Oh well, that's okay. It's what I get. It's what I get.
Dang it. Little managed
Yeah,
thing.
I'll do it anyway. I don't care. Do I look like I care? Because I don't. No, Dr. Jones, I expect you to die. There you go. Whompadoozle. Whompadoozle.
I think I have to do this. I
Feels
don't.
weird. I've seen so many more sandcastles in water.
Yeah, only Trevor's drowning over there
Yeah.
with his well manicured moat.
This one.
Oh, that's what I needed earlier.
I know. I feel like that's what everybody. I don't want to give that one up. But if I don't finish the thing that I tried to start at the beginning of the game, I'm gonna be upset.
Ball to ball.
Oh, and that's brutal too. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna have to cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Sacrifices must be made.
See, I'll zoom in to make sure there's no seagulls on that.
I doubt it.
Oh yeah, Mike joined the crab club.
Crab Club.
I might regret this later, but
You will.
I gotta get rid of that point as well, so I might as well do it.
What?
It's not screwing me in anyway, is it? No.
No, it's good for you. What?
One ball.
You know, if the three of us just stay at one ball, everybody wins.
Truce, right? Truce.
Do you all get six? Do you
Oh.
all get 6 points if you all stay at one ball?
I found the perfect card.
What?
No,
Oh,
we said
nice.
Yeah, you just broke the truce.
What a dick.
2 seconds after you started.
Hey, I never agreed to any truce. You guys can tie for third.
You were agreeing until you saw your card.
What a dick.
You drew first and then decided.
I'm gonna do this, mother truckers. Womp womp.
I was gonna stab you in the front anyway.
Done. That's much nicer than the Rhea.
Oh, are you gonna give up on this ball?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what comes up.
We still each have 3, Mike.
One mic, 2 mic, 3 mic.
What's the point difference on that? 3 points.
I'm going for the trifecta on how to get.
Ooh, double water.
Oh.
That is a spicy meatball.
Nice. Could use that a long time ago.
Somebody give Mike one.
Holy, you
water.
had two. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
2 double waters. And I decided to go for the truce. Just
I would kill for that.
Yeah. Or would you
A little
crab dig for it?
It's excessive.
No, I wouldn't crab dig.
Well, Trevor, you know what you got to take now.
Well, I mean, I have to take
I will
that,
kill
Yeah.
him for it.
but I'm just wondering where to put it. I mean,
I would gladly give you
Get more seagulls.
a green shell for your 2 waters.
yeah, I mean, more seagulls. Why not, right?
Worth it.
Also, your beach is encroaching on my beach, just so you know.
Son of a beach.
Son of a beach.
Okay, I'll take this, and I think I will.
Oh, just to be that way. Mhm.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it
Good luck in here.
Wouldn't be prudent.
at this juncture.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it.
nobody in that truce lasted around.
Yeah, it wasn't no
There's
truce.
no truce here.
Not even a single round.
No,
Very bad
there was like a
truce.
risk truce. I will not attack South America. I will not.
I would never do that. I'm attacking South America.
Brazil.
That card is sort of good, but I feel like there has to be more water on the way.
There must be.
Mhm. Oh,
There must
water in the hand. I don't know.
How's that saying go?
That's it. Water in the hand.
1 in the hand is worth 4 in the bush.
Doubloons.
Doubloons. Yar. Do I have anything I want on here? No. No, I see. No, I don't.
Hmm.
We've rethemed it to a pirate game, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It was good while it lasted, but yeah, pirate's better. Double stars seems bad.
Yep.
Seems real bad.
It has a crab on it though.
Me no likey.
You know, I think I'm just gonna
Water time. Do we stop when the deck is gone or when no one can draw from the other deck?
When when all the cards are gone.
All the cards are gone. Okay.
I'm just gonna do that. You know what I mean. You get it. You
Get
understand.
us to start using our crabs.
Gotta be starting something. You know. I'm gonna give up my beach ball empire for 9 points.
Big mistake.
I mean, not wrong.
So
Another
sisters-
castle? Just what I wanted.
Get it. Get the castle. King of the castle. King of the castle. If I had $1 million.
How do you search the
If you
Right
right
oh, there
click
it
it,
is.
yeah.
and then,
Search.
yeah.
Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna use my crab.
Use the crab.
Whoa. He searched before declaring.
Use the crab, dude.
This is illegal
Yeah,
crabbing.
you're supposed to declare, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, I can't. If I win, there's an asterisk now.
No, I already searched it.
I already searched as well.
What is this? I was specifically not searching.
I don't play
So-
I don't play memory games. Sorry,
yeah,
everybody.
the memory aspect.
I don't do it. I don't cotton to playing memory games. Oh. That's a tenor. Nice. Yep. All
All
right,
right.
Trevor.
All right. Well, of course, I gotta take that beach ball, right? Those double stars are attractive, though.
It's like the
Nah.
worst.
Okay. So
Man, I'm gonna get stuck with the double stars.
it's yeah.
Probably.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
you
you
can,
start planning
you
ahead.
can do the math.
Where would be the best place to place your double stars?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I should probably cover up 2 crabs with it.
Yes, this is the best.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. That might be a stupid move, but
All right.
Very stupid.
So
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
Oh,
Ho hum. I think Trevor's gonna win. What a
Look on those balls, Evan.
I am right now, actually.
I'm gonna use my crab. I think I need to compete with
I
the
am
ball,
bemoaning the
the
boning.
ball life.
Mhm.
That's a waste. Because I got another one right here just waiting.
Mm-mm.
Boom.
No.
Well, there's only one ball left in here, so
Is that true?
yeah.
Oh. There we
He knows because he searched the deck before he played.
So I'd be losing out on 2 points
He'd
if
be
I
losing
did
2
this.
points.
You can flip it so it's sideways, right?
What?
The ball. So if you flipped it to cover up, I think you can do that. I think that's
Oh, that's
allowed.
legal.
I mean,
Like,
it
this is
doesn't
a-
make a
this is-
beach ball.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
But it could.
Yeah, you should do that, Sasha. It totally makes a beach ball.
This is probably worth
Did
it.
I ruin myself by covering up my beach balls? Yep. Well,
You probably gave it to Sasha because I'm probably not gonna win.
no, I think you are gonna win. You're doing
Well, you
great.
you currently have 3,
You're
and
doing
I have 3.
great
So
over
at
there.
worst, you're gonna be tied for most.
I haven't min-maxed Sasha and me. I'm waiting for the finale.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sasha, are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I am gonna take this one and leave the beach ball because that's just how I am.
Mhm.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care about a beach ball. In fact,
Should probably cover up the seagull.
yeah, I probably will. I think I'll just go.
Yeah, you should totally cover that seagull.
I'll just go right here. I think I screwed myself by giving away all my balls. All right.
That's what happens on the beach, right?
Yeah.
It just blows away on you.
Give away your balls.
You're running after it. No,
No, my balls.
no, it costs $1.
All right. So is there an option to shuffle these back, or do I just pick one of these 2?
You don't have a crab, so yeah, you just pick one of these 2.
You can get that double star out of the way now.
Just go ahead and get rid of that.
I mean, it's coming back to me no matter what, because nobody else. Is
Wait, Trevor, you didn't use your crab yet?
No.
That's cheating.
And if I hold on to it, I get nothing for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes me
You better
crabby.
use it on your turn.
That makes me crabby.
Oh, nice.
I'll wait one more round. No. All right. Yeah. Flippy.
Flippy.
Back you go, buddy. All right.
Sorry, my friend.
What's in here? Liar. There's no beach ball in here. Huh. Um. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
There's most definitely a beach ball in there.
Yeah, I just, you ruined the suspense, Evan.
Like,
You're like, you liar.
you are a liar. Liar.
Does it fit though?
Yeah,
It comes with 2
That's-
stars.
comes with 2 stars. Gotta love stars.
I mean, is there any reason not to take it? That there's 2 castles. That's 2 points. That doesn't make any sense. The lead is 4 points more. So.
It doesn't give you any more points. It makes me lose 4 points.
Which is what I want.
Yeah.
Mostly in life, that is what I want.
Okay, and now, do I want this castle? Let me think
Tough
about it.
decision.
So, at least that it can negate the seagull that's on it.
There you go.
If I
And give
place
you
it
a point.
like
That's
this.
nice.
You have the choice of not taking it if you look at it and say, nope, I don't like it.
That how it works?
Was that my turn?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, great. Well, I guess I'm taking a frickin' seagull over here.
Oh, you took 2.
Well, get off my back, man. I'm sorry I can't be as delicate as you when I'm grabbing cards. Are you saying I'm indextrous?
Got a free crab.
Yeah, that was
Point.
nice. I wanted a free crab. All right. Now let's move on into final scoring.
Okay, let's start with the sandcastles. Go ahead and count the points for that.
Okay.
Ooh, so that is what, 10, 11, 12? Am I counting that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. I got 9. 9.
Excellent. Go ahead and move on to starfish and shells.
Starfish and shells. That's another 9.
Only if it's completely encircled, right?
Yes.
What if it's ensorcelled?
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
No ensorceling here.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. And we'll move on to beach balls now. Who has the most?
Trevor does.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I believe I have second.
And I have the third most for 3.
It was a late charge. But
Yep.
I got it.
I gave it up.
And go ahead now and go ahead and count your crabs and seagulls up. If you have for each crab and seagull you have, just cancel it out and then take the difference. But yeah.
Let's see here. Nope.
Two.
I think Trevor crushed us.
Yep. Sasha!
I was the last one at the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
So we got what, 29, 22, 22, 20? Is that a 21 there you got, Mike?
I think that's 31.
No, a 20.
Or wait, how
That's
much
20.
did you have?
This was
I-
31, and then I lost 2 with my crab
Oh,
seed.
got it. So yeah,
The
29.
crab seagull quotient was not in his favor.
No.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of seagulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seagulls.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I miss
Awesome.
it.
That's
I miss
beach
it.
day.
All
Each
right.
day.
Each day.
Okay, well, let's get into some feedback. Any guiding lights and feedback that you want us to make sure we don't miss? Joshua?
No, I'll just ask the follow-up questions that afterwards. That's usually
Okay.
how I like to do. You just give me your thoughts, and usually most playtesters cover the questions I have to answer anyway.
Cool.
But if they all answered, I'll just follow up.
Sounds good. Let's start it off. You want me to pick? I'll pick.
I mean, I can
Let's
start.
go. Okay, Mike, perfect.
All right. Yeah, I mean, overall, good tile placement game. I liked that there could be hate drafting. I don't know if that's your goal for this one, but I like that there's a double whammy of hate drafting in terms of if I draw 2, I can hate draft by playing the one that I know they don't want on top of the one that I know they want, or picking the one that they want out of the 2 piles. So I don't know if I've played a game where I could do it either way, like by placing something on top, or where mechanically it doesn't really make a difference, but the feeling of doing it is different. So probably not important, but just something to note. I did like that. I don't know if it was your design goal to have that, but so starting off, right at the beginning, I felt like I kind of got the short end of the stick on initial tile placement. I had a crab and then I had these 2, but like these 2 aren't anything to kind of like guide my strategy on. They're just kind of like random happenstance where everybody else got like a castle. And I'm like, well, I'll just take my 2 shells here.
Yeah.
Which, like, I know we were testing these out, and it's probably a byproduct of these where the shells have more impact based on the different ones that are out here. And I don't know if it kind of took me a while to kind of figure out what my goals were in the game. And I don't know if it's because of that starting tile that I had, or if anybody else felt like they were kind of struggling to get a grasp. Like, I knew what my goals were. I just wasn't figuring out how I was going to manipulate my stuff to get those goals. And then kind of like dovetailing into that, like these 3 shells were like the only 3 of these shells that I saw the entire game. These orange ones. And on that like same note, most of my stars had crabs next to them. So I kept getting stars with crabs, stars with crabs, stars with crabs. So if I wanted to go for this, I was losing a point. So it wasn't worth it for me to try to fill these up with random shells, because that's losing me a point every time I'm trying to fill a star with a random shell. And I mean, looking at the scores, like 3 points would have made a big difference, but it was just the feel during the game is that it was not worth. But like end game score, yeah, if I would have gotten 2 points, it would have tied me with both of them. But throughout the game, it didn't feel like I really thought I was losing by a long shot the whole game. So for this one, like maybe stars count as a shell around it. Because in this game, it kind of felt like all the stars were just dead once you had 1, maybe 2 stars, right? That's really all you want is 1, maybe 2 stars if you've completed 1 and you can start working on the second one. But I think like and getting stuck with that double star at the end was kind of a bummer because those stars don't really mean anything outside of this one and maybe if I wanted to work on another one. The castles, I really like the castles. It gave me a good decision like space as to like this star right here. I was like, I know I'm gonna have to cover this up if I get one here, which is gonna net me 9 points, but it's going to only lose me this many and so on. And then I could get another tile with the water and place it here to fix that, and then I would have both of the scoring conditions. So like this placement strategy and like tactile thinking that I had to do in this area here was really nice. The crabs are really nice. I don't see if you don't plan on covering up like all these crabs for me are completely safe to have out here. Like I'm not really worried about covering up these crabs because I don't have a reason to cover up these crabs. So there was no reason for me to not hold on to this one crab that I covered up until the end of the game. And that might be because we had such small discard piles like the whole game. We had maybe 1, tops 2 tiles until the end of the game in each discard pile. So there wasn't really incentive for me to use it there. But even then, I think I would still hold on to it until all of those cards, the final cards, are in the discard pile, and then I can get the selection of whatever is left there before anybody else. The tiles at the end of the game, when they're all just in their stacks, when we were down to 1 stack, felt really bad.
Yeah, that was
Because
balls.
like,
Sorry.
what was that?
I just agree with you. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just, I mean, you take a game that has such intricate, especially at the end of the game, right? That's where your decision space really like explodes because you're like, well, I need to really just pick cards that maximize these points in the best way possible without screwing myself out of other points. And then you're just like, well, I guess I'm going to take this card and go, and then this card and go, and this card and go. So where we really hit that climax of that like decision space, and you've got this beach area that you've worked on so hard, and now you're just getting cards that are kind of meaningless to that, and you don't really have a decision there. It really kicked the legs out from under me at the end there because I was getting like I would say like the 3 turns before that happened, the decision space, like that was the climax of the game for me, where I was like, this is great. I'm really focused on like not screwing up what I had done before and all that stuff. So it went from super massive decision space and scrunched right down. Beach ball, great. Like this card, it feels like an obvious card to have in here as a scoring condition. I like the tension that it brought. It made me look at other people's boards in a game where I'm not really looking at anyone's board except for the person next to me, so I don't give them something that they really need. So this one, great. Let me just check if I go anything down. At the beginning of the game, not so much at the end of the game, it felt like there were tiles that were just inherently more valuable that were coming up for other people. And that feels bad to watch that. I know it's part of the game. There's always going to be tiles that are inherently more valuable, but at the beginning of the game, and that might also be a byproduct of my starting tile, I'm not sure, but it felt really bad watching people get really good tiles for them that were kind of pushing them towards their strategy. Meanwhile, I was still trying to figure out what I was doing with all these random shells and stuff like that I was picking up. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good game. I was really enjoying it up until that last 2 turns where it was kind of just I put this tile down and this tile down on the last 2 turns. So kind of a non-decision there, but
Awesome.
yep, I think that's it.
Cool. So only like really one follow-up question. Do you feel like actually like 2? So do you feel like the game's complexity and the weight of the game was what I was trying to was tracking on? Or like does it like match up with what we're trying to do? I guess in the beginning for like newer players or veteran players teaching newer players and stuff.
Yes, I think most of the stuff that kind of belies that goal comes from graphic design, like stuff that you're going to fix, like seagulls being really tough to see.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Mhm.
I might just be zoomed out more than normal, but it's really hard to see like, oh, that one has a seagull. And even when they were in my hand and I was looking at 2 zoomed in, it was really hard for me to be like, oh crap, I took a seagull. So I mean, stuff like that kind of complicates it a little bit. But overall, once the graphic design's in there and you're not kind of coming over those hurdles, I think everything would be, I mean, takes a little bit to explain, but really there's like 2 rules in the whole game, right? Place tiles so that they touch another tile on a non-corner and score based on this. That's so I think you're right in that sweet spot once the graphic design stuff comes along.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, whoever wants to go next, I guess.
Just go around the table.
Yep, works for me.
All right. Let's see. My notes are all over the place. Not quite as bad as Evan, but you know. It's funny, all I can see is the top of your little note, Evan. Yeah, so I mean, if you look at my score, it's obvious to me that Mike's just better and the game is perfect and you shouldn't change a thing. I know I have actual notes. So I like the core gameplay. I like the simplistic decision choice, not necessarily simplistic decision choice, but the simplistic things you can do on your turn. Take 2 or take one of the 2. So that sat really well with me. I'm more of a kind of gateway gamer, so this would be up my alley. What was I gonna start with? Yeah, I'll just bounce off what Mike said with the draw. You know, I feel like there should always be 2 cards here. If you empty a pile, either this one slides over if it can, or maybe the next draw card comes out, so that the next person always has 2 choices and a choice to draw. There was many times that I had no choice to do anything but draw, so there was no choice for me in the game. I got what I got, and then I placed it, which is okay. But if I have a choice of what I can do by having the same market equally as everybody else, at least then I'm only getting maybe nerfed by bad draws, instead of not having the choice that everybody else had. So often often Sasha took, and there was nothing for Evan, and Evan drew,
Yeah.
and Mike took, and there was nothing for me. So in a 4-player game, the 2 people starving are the ones in the corner. If that rotation holds, and it didn't seem to break until probably the 6th or 7th turn in. It might have even been later than that. I'm not sure. We kind of depleted the piles in here, and then they stayed empty for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
for me anyway. So yeah, I would think a simple solution would be if you've got your deck, you can always, if you take that, you can always fill it. So it's a free market for whoever's next turn it is. The other thing you could do is you could open this up more and have a third card out here, you know, and have a deck where you can always draw a blind from as well. But I think then you start getting into more of a Trevor issue. Things become more AP because you've got more choice. So I think probably have enough choice, but that might help fix Mike's issue of feeling like he was always like, well, I'm not getting the tiles that everybody else gets. Doesn't matter to me how big the market usually is. There's always some point in a game where I have a market that I'm like, oh, I really want that card, please don't buy that. And of course they're going to buy that card because it's like the card everybody wants. So that's not the case in this because you're matching. There's no obvious OP card probably, but I mean, it depends what comes up as your objectives. I thought the 3 objectives was a good thing, not too much to concentrate on, but enough that it was interesting. It kind of reminded me in that aspect with the color or with the matching and placing a little bit like sea salt and paper. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good game. And I was wondering if there's any opportunity to, so like if you have 3 of a kind of anything or 4 of a kind of anything in a row or in a square or something like that, that maybe you could do a sea salt and paper thing where you get a power, and maybe your power is you can draw one tile and put it wherever you want. But I mean, that game balances itself off with those powers, so maybe that's not a route that you want to go. But it just made me think of it because it brought that to mind. Did that. The thing about Mike feeling a loss long ago, that to me would be probably my biggest issue. I don't mind if somebody can see that they're going to lose, but it should be in the last turn or last couple turns. I don't want somebody halfway through a game to think that they have no chance of winning. And I don't know at what point you thought that, Mike. Was it like halfway through, 3/4 through? When did you really feel that like, no, I don't have a chance of winning this?
We were probably like 4 or 5 tiles in.
Okay.
It was whenever you guys had started building castles. Evan had 2 balls.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, I'm way behind. And if we're all drawing 1 tile at a time, there's not much chance of like a Hail Mary victory for me.
And I didn't know what the distribution was in the game when I started. So knowing that they're all evenly distributed kind of made me feel better when I didn't start with a castle and these guys did. I was like, oh, there's castles coming up. Okay, I should be fine. I'll build as if I'm going to get a castle, and then I'll sneak it in right here, and then maybe I can build off of that, which is what happened for me. That might have just been a luck thing, but that is what I was trying to do. So it worked out for me. It didn't work out so well for Mike. So I mean, part of the reason for that might have been because he took the tiles that Evan gave him a lot of the time and didn't draw. I don't know. But that would just be something I would watch and see if anybody has that feeling. And I'd be interested to know if anybody else had that feeling at the beginning of the game, because I kind of had that feeling and then I ended up smashing it. So it's interesting that it reversed for me. Sometimes perception on that can be more powerful than the actuality of your actual position in the game. for like 5 or 6 tiles in, but not saying that wasn't true for Mike. It just that perception can be just as powerful, and sometimes even more so. The perception of that I can't win this game is enough to make somebody feel like I can't, but then maybe they feel really good when they end up coming back at the end. So yeah, the runaway leader or runaway loser would be a concern for me. And I don't have anything great on what you could do with that other than like what Mike said. Maybe, you know, if you take a tile and you really can't use it for what you're doing, but maybe 3 of a kind or maybe 4 of a kind gives you something and you're like 4 stars, boom, I can do this. Yes, not getting the draws I want. So that might help give a little bit of mitigation to the luck. Yeah, I had no idea the seagulls were there. So just need like a little, I don't know, red background or something to make them stand out against the white, or just a little different something, or I need my prescription checked again. What else? Yeah, I was wondering what would have happened if no castle had come up for me, but I don't think that would have been an issue.
You
I
would
might
have
have taken,
lost.
I might have taken a while and like had filled these in, and then like it kind of came in really good for me because this this one tile and then this tile, being able to put that and that, all of that, this little corner here was really powerful for me.
I was noticing that, Luck.
Yeah.
That's skill. Just so you know, ball boy. Uh and then yeah, I thought the beach ball was good. Sometimes most and seconds and thirds can be a little paralyzing because you're looking at everybody's stuff and you're thinking about what you can do in your own. But this was simplistic enough. They stuck out really well against everything else. So this most specifically worked really well for me. So I thought from an AP point of view with a most, the beach balls were played really well. I thought the castles played well. And the shells, yeah, that one to me, I'm not sure because it's like 4, if you can't get all 4 of them, you're gonna get 4 points. And then it's 9 to the front. So maybe that span feels a little bit unbalanced to me, but I don't know. If it was closer, maybe I'd just do this and just work several stars. So I don't know where that balance lies. It was probably the one that I was like, I'm not 100% on this one. But the idea of it is fine, of you know, surrounding the star. Yeah, and then as far as weight, back to your question about weight. First of all, what was the company name again?
CakePie.
Because it's
Piece of cake to set up, easiest pie to teach.
okay. So I think you nailed that, if that's what you're going for. Well, it is what you're going for. I think I think you nailed that because I mean it's like I said, you don't have 3 out here, even that, just a little bit more stuff to teach, but not that would add much to teach. But yeah, it's simple. It's kind of like raw. There's not a lot you can do on your turn, but there's a lot of decision space within that game. So I think if you're familiar with raw, I don't know if you are, but and then as far as weight, what kind of a weight were you thinking of? What's your target audience for weight?
We're using the BG scale 1.5 to 2.
Okay. I would say you fall into that because I was just looking at some Tiny towns to me would definitely be heavier than this in my mind. I don't know if that's true in everybody's mind.
I agree.
And Cascadia would be similar, probably slightly higher because you have more scoring options in every game. And Cascadia is written at rated at a 1.84. Of course, it's just a BGG rating, but usually those average out better than maybe the overall scores for games on there. And so I would say this is right in the wheelhouse of where you want it. Then it's not King Domino. It's definitely more than that, but I'd say it's probably just under Cascadia. So I think you hit the mark on both those things, both with what you want as a publisher and both with what you were looking for on weight. So yeah, good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sasha.
Down to Sasha.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So first thing is first. Yeah, I think I agree with what Trevor was saying at the end. As far as weight and what you said you're going for, it feels like it's right in that sort of realm. So yeah, good job on that front. I'll just sort of go through the notes that I wrote down. I tried organizing them a little bit, but I was doing it a little bit quick. So we'll see. Oh, yeah. Sort of going back to Trevor was mentioning this is when a pile is empty, having it being filled in. I think there's a couple of reasons why I like that suggestion. One of the first things is with Trevor going first, if Trevor took one of these two, then on my turn, I just have less choices than he did on his turn. Because I would have a choice between one or draw two from the deck, where he had the choice of these two or draw two from the top of the deck. And so like that could be like a first player, like that feels like an advantage. And that would be less of an advantage if this just got refilled. I think the fact that it didn't get refilled also was part of what was driving me to if there was only one out here and it looked like it could give me 2 or more points, I would take it, which I mean, that seems like a reasonable decision no matter what. But if like that kept happening, it also seemed like, okay, and now I get to just give less options to the next player. So like it seems strategically better, which sort of we fell into this loop for a while of no one really gets any choice. Which it's sort of funny because the first thing I wrote down was it felt like drawing from the top of the deck was just better in general, because you got to look at 2 fresh things. Obviously, if there was one out that was really good, you'd take that. But if there wasn't one out that was really good, then drawing 2 from the top. So I thought everyone was just going to be drawing from the top of the deck most of the time. But the way that it started playing out, I realized that there were enough tiles that were like no points for me, or like were going to be really hard for me to get points out of them, that I didn't want to risk drawing 2 when there was a face up one that would give me at least 1 and then maybe more points as well. And that actually ties into something that I say later on in my notes. I guess I'll just say that right now. I something that I was sort of feeling is I felt a little frustrated that there were so many tiles that felt useless or close to useless. I mean, there was a couple that like sat out here for a little bit, but this was an example of one. Because of the way that our scoring works in this game, this tile is just really bad, or just feels really bad. And I sort of wish that there was more ways that you could potentially use this, or these goals just need to make it, they need to be designed in a way, or the tiles need to be designed in a way that there's not tiles that are just like really bad. At least that was the sort of feeling that I had, and it part of what made me play the way I did with just grabbing tiles from here if I could get some points out of it, because there was 1 or 2 times where I drew 2 where I felt like I didn't get anything. I guess also sort of tied to that, because of the way that this goal works, stars seemed really hard to score points unless you were working on it for several turns. It's not really something like you can get a star and then place it and then, oh, now it's worth points. I don't know if there's a single tile that has a star on it where when you place that tile, it would be scoring any points. It would be something that you'd have to like sort of set up for over the course of several turns. So towards the end of the game, the stars became more and more worthless, or feeling worthless, which, as opposed to some of the other symbols, didn't feel as worthless. And so, yeah, if there was some other way that I could use those stars, or some other thing that I could do to make it so that it always has value, and there's always, like, no matter what tile I get, there's some way that I can use it in an interesting way. It doesn't need to be like crazy. It just needs to not give me the feeling of like, oh, this does nothing for me, or it has a crab on it. That's what this tile does.
I think, sorry, I think
Yeah.
just 1 point per shell surrounding it. And
Yeah,
then 9 points if they're all the same.
Yeah, something like that, like changing just scoring to being that, I think would have done a lot. Obviously that's a small change way of making that better, but just in general, making it so that there's not tiles in specific games that feel like they are not good based on what these goals are. I think that was something that dictated a lot of my decisions in this specific game.
Can I just bounce off that for a sec, Sasha?
Yeah.
So King of Tokyo, you're probably familiar with it. Then King of New York. I don't play King of New York, even though I own it. To me, it's gone a little bit too heavy. I really love the basics of King of Tokyo, but it really does suck when you roll like a 1, 2, 3, or you roll something that you're like, I really just didn't want that. And so, like, one of the things they did in King of New York is they introduced a couple cards that are always kind of out there for people to grab. So you could have something kind of like this, where you have a couple cards on the table, and depending on what your, I mean, this might not work because you probably have goals that include all of the different kind of things that can come up on your tiles, but it might just spur an idea that you could, throw out, oh, we don't have this in our goals, so we'll throw out the star card, and we'll throw out the whatever the other card is, what we're not accounting for here. Maybe it's just the star card. And if you have the most stars in your tableau, every round after we do a round, maybe you just take a point token, and whoever kind of holds that takes a point token, so that you're not feeling, I mean, if it comes late in the game, it's not going to solve that problem, but I don't know, it's probably not a good solution, but it just made me think of that, because I really wish there was a couple cards included in King of Tokyo, and I was just going to make my own to kind of house rule it, to make that game just slightly more interesting, because I do find the cards, like the Superstar card and the Statue of Liberty card in King of New York, rather interesting.
I'm going to move on from this point in just a second, but something that I kept having this decision, or I kept being given some sort of castle card, and having castle cards with a star on it, and just like, okay, so either the castle or the star. I don't get to do both because of how these things work. And I was already on this castle path, and so it just like, yeah, it just felt like a bummer when I saw a tile like this where I couldn't get full advantage of it. I was either I can use half of it or the other half, and also the star here also made this beach ball not work. I don't know. It just felt like the stars seemed really hard and bad. But again, I'm just expressing it as a feeling, and trying to give some thoughts as to why I felt that way. But anyways, I'm going to move on from that point now. I mean, this is something that I'm sure you noticed, the fact that these piles were so empty. Our crabs didn't do anything for most of the time that we had them.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's like in order for the crab ability to work as is, I feel like it will. I guess most players would have to be drawing from the top of the deck in order for more cards to be being put in these piles than taken out of the piles. And so I think you'd really need to incentivize people to be taking off the top of the deck, which in this sort of type of tile playing game, I much prefer having the sort of market choices, because I can sort of like really plan out what I want to do rather than draw two and then hope that I get what I'm looking for. So yeah, just something to think about with this crowd ability. I like don't hate what this is doing as far as solving when these piles are large and the deck runs out or something along those lines. But I think the danger that this solution brings is, one, it not working when there's not piles, and then two, making it so that players either have to memorize all the cards that went into these discard piles, or constantly be looking through these piles to see what their possible options are. Like, do I want to use my crab this turn or not? And that those things I feel like can contribute to sort of slowing down or bogging down the game a little bit. So yeah, I think there might be a different way of solving the problem that I guess I'm sort of assuming what this was trying to solve, but yeah, I feel like it needs some tweaking. First player, yes, said that. Oh, this is not a big deal, but it felt the sharing the most points felt a little bit funny to me. Just like the sort of point swing seemed more dramatic. If like two people had two versus, and then one person had one, another person had zero, then that's like 26 points versus, yeah, I guess I'm not explaining this in the best way, but I think I prefer where like first and second split the or the top two people would split first and second place or whatever points. So it'd be like 8 points and 8 points, just to make it so there's like not as many points like flooding the in-game. I don't know. This is maybe just my own design preference type of thing, and not something that's actually like has a big feelings impact or actual gameplay impact. But it seemed a little bit like I had to go for beach balls, because like the missing out on beach balls was really big, and you tying, you still got lots of points. And so I felt like I couldn't like couldn't not do beach balls, if that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely didn't explain that as well as I would have liked, but hopefully the idea sort of makes sense. Yeah, I think I said all the things that I wrote down. There was several times I wrote down the same sort of thing about wishing that I had more options for some of the tiles that seemed bad. But I think that was it. All in all, I think that the decisions of picking between two tiles and then how you want to place it, I think that is great for this sort of style of game. And I just wish that I had a couple more options with some of the tiles. Other than that, yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Sasha. Aben.
That's me. Okay, so let's see. Any notes in the chat? No, okay. Sneaky seagulls. So obviously I actually got 21 points because I did miss a seagull because they're hard to see. But so I did not tie Sasha.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, a lot of what came up for me is very similar to what came up for everybody else. The crab I don't think is currently doing what you want him to do. But I like that he exists and that you get a thing that toggles when you cover the crab. I think it's a cool mechanism. I just don't think it's doing what you want it to do right now. Searching a discard pile in a game that is supposed to be fast is basically always a no-no, at least as far as I'm concerned, just as far as like gameplay time. Especially, if you're like thinking about like, well, should I be considering doing that, and then you either, well, my personal preference is I hate any memory elements in games, so I either have to track all the cards that are underneath, or have access to search the discard piles at all times, which again is just another game slowdown. So I'd probably steer clear of that as a personal design choice, and I think it'll speed up the gameplay a little bit. The discard having to go to the empty spot kind of take, at least in our play, since there were so frequently not two cards in two different discard piles. A lot of times one of the interesting choices in Sea Salt and Paper is covering up which card to cover up with your discarded card. And we kind of lost that here because rarely did you get a choice because there's usually only one stack and then you had to discard it to the other stack. So it took away the what are you covering up thing by the discard having to go to the empty one. I think a lot of the problems that we saw scoring wise and feel wise for many of the cards was simply due to, I think this is a great starting scoring card, I think this is a great starting scoring card, and this is not. I think if you made a better, like, have starting scoring cards. Your first game is always these three cards, right? It's this one, and it's not this one. It's a different one that uses shells and stars that makes them relevant. More so. There's obviously tons of different options. I did look through your deck and I see, that there was lots of different things that you've tried. But something simple this to throw out would be, every solo star is worth 2 points, and you score your largest group of shells of the same type. Which would be using if you decided to keep the multiples of the same type. So if you have a big old group of shells, you score your largest group of shells, and then each star that's not connected to another star gives you 2 points. Let's see. I also wrote down a bunch of other scoring ideas, and you also have some others in the deck, but they needs to be pretty easily understandable and make the cards that felt bad or worthless in this gameplay all feel useful. And those are your three starting ones. And then in future games, it's fine if some things are more or less valuable with a mix-up of how things are scored, because we will be understanding the game well enough to know, like, like, I don't want that card, and maybe that's okay at that point. Definitely the standard of, if there's a first, if two players are tied for first, you add the two bonuses together and divide by two. That's kind of a standard way of doing it, for a reason. So I would only diverge from that if you have a very good reason to diverge from that. Yeah, sea salt and paper obviously gets invoked here, but also the Great Barrier Reef card game by Travel Buddy. I don't know if anybody's ever played that, but you essentially have this type of tableau where you're covering up parts of square cards, and whatever's showing, and things you cover up sometimes trigger things, and whatever's showing at the end is how you do scoring stuff. So if you haven't played that, go play that, just to kind of see what other people have done with similar games. Yeah. So my thoughts on the crab. There are things I think that are interesting, and then there are things that I think work better for game flow. Something I think that would be interesting is when you cover the crab, you can grab, you flip this over, and I get to take, whoa, one of either the top or one of these three, and then it goes on my crab, and then either on my turn I now have a choice of my normal choice or this card, or I get to play two cards, or I get to play this card whenever I want on a future turn or whatever. The downsides, I think that's more interesting. Downsides, of course, uneven player turns potentially, or cards that are just sitting over in somebody's unplayed in somebody's hand or tableau. So not a perfect solution, but I think more interesting. The other one is you can use the crab ability to just put two cards into the discard pile, which would basically, on your turn, if it is empty, you can use your crab to fill it, and then you once again have the choice of four cards, right? Either this one, or the top two, rather than just less choices than that. Especially if you do not like the options that are sitting in the row, then you flip your crab and you refresh that, and then you have new choices. That one does not mess up turn order, but does help with the biro issue a little bit, although it doesn't fix it entirely. Obviously, just filling the market when you take if you take the last card in a stack, filling one card into that discard pile from the deck would be a less a more consistent fix. And then I like, if you do have some other ability with the crab, and he's like, you end the game with him up instead of used or whatever, and him just being worth 2 points. Something like that. Because then it gives you a decision point. Card on crab, may use or discard with new card, draw one. Crab could just draw a card, but then again, that messes with even turn orders. Auto for the market. And then the only other thought I had was, I wonder if there's an opportunity for simultaneous play in here somewhere.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, because we don't really need to see. I mean, I guess maybe not, because when you do have a scoring condition that matters what other people are doing, then you'll be like
the most, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to make it work either. So
Yeah.
I said,
I feel
"Oh,
like there's
probably
an
not a good idea.
opportunity, but I'm not sure how to do it, basically. So yeah, think about it. If there's not, there's not. Um, what else? Um, those are all the big things that came up for me. I really liked basic card play and the basic idea. And yeah, the issues that kind of everybody brought up were some icons felt less useful than others, and the issues with the availability of cards in the discard, and usefulness of the crab. I think you've got just a very good game base idea here with in the weight that you're wanting it to be in. Playtime was probably long, um, but we are on TTS and Trevor's in the game, so uh, so I don't know how long it normally plays when you're on the table. I'm guessing more like 30 minutes or 25.
Depending on player count, the longest game on table has been like 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, which is still in the realm of acceptable, I think. Yeah. I feel like I had something else in my brain. But anyway, that's what I got. So did that bring up anything for anybody else before we ask him a question?
One just little thing in the specific game, and again, this could be because how the scoring division works. I definitely had a strong feeling of too many castles. Again, maybe that's a feeling thing more than a gameplay thing, but I definitely kept seeing way more castles than I saw water, and it was a little bit frustrating, or it felt really hard to like figure out ways to utilize getting so many castles. At some point, I just had to tell myself that, okay, no more castles. I'm not allowed to take any more castles.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these other scoring ones, that wouldn't be the case, I think, because this one you want one castle with 6 waters. That sort of balance feels off. Anyways.
Were there any concerns or questions you wanted us to get covered that nobody brought up or nobody covered?
I'll ask one more question.
Yeah.
So from a publishing standpoint, how much would you guys pay for this game? But just being, square cards, box, and rules. How much would you guys feel comfortable paying for this? Of course, with like updated art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How many cards are there again?
Sorry?
How many cards total are there again?
Right now, we're looking at around 70 to 85. That's kind of the area we're playing in.
And they'd be like poker width. They'd be like 2.5 by 2.5. Or...
Yeah, 2.5 by 2.5.
I would expect like Sushi Go area, which I don't buy. I don't buy games new all that often at the moment, so I'm not actually sure how much Sushi Go sells for, but that'd be my thought.
Yeah, because it's is there anything else other than cards?
Just a rule book.
The Seagull meeples.
Oh, gosh.
I would probably want it at the same level of so Take 5. Here's some free advertising for Take 5. And I'll expect my King of Tokyo kickback later as well. But I mean, Take 5 is a very mass-produced game, but I think this was under $30 Canadian, so I don't know what that would be. That's probably a really good price because that would probably put it close to $20 American. I don't think I would want to pay more than 25 US for this, but that's 30 is probably my max that I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's like $13 to $15 would be like instant buy, and then over that it's like possibly buy. Like once you hit like the $20 mark, it's like a possibly buy, and then 25 plus is probably too expensive for just the cards. But I'm also imagining it in like a box like this, where you have 2 stacks of the square cards side by side, and then the rule book laid on top of them, and that's the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're looking at a 14.95er. You know, I haven't actually priced out manufacturing in many years, so I'm not up on it, and I don't buy a lot of games in retail. So again, I'm not overly up on it, but my guesstimate would be 14.95 is the sweet spot as far as like money that you're making per copy and how many sales you are encouraging or discouraging based on price point. I'm guessing that's the sweet spot. You're like, you could probably make more money per copy sold at higher price points, but overall, probably doing yourself a disservice. Unless your cost to manufacture is just doesn't make sense, then obviously you have to do what you have to do. But
yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So, of all the stuff we've talked about, what are your takeaways from this playtest?
So the biggest thing is that I like the drafting a lot more than what we were doing beforehand, which is very basic 3 cards in a market, choose one. I think this opens up a lot more interesting decisions, but I do agree that it should just automatically be refilled. So I was on the same wavelength as you guys as far as problems I was seeing. That was one of the big things. I think we were all on knowing that we were all on the same wavelength with some of the problems that we were all seeing, I think is more encouraging as a designer and publisher than having 4 different people see 16 different problems. It's like, okay, we all see the same thing that's going on here. Great. And I don't think any of them are too hard to solve. The hardest one I think is gonna be the crab and just getting more interesting scoring for the star, more simplified scoring for the star and seashells. But some of the suggestions were great. But yeah, I mean, I think it's still going a little too long for my taste, and I want to try to figure out if that's just the game doing that, or is it just like, hey, it's the first time playing. Maybe after more plays, it'll just speed up. Because I don't want to go more than 30 minutes in a 4-player game. I want to hit that 15 to 25-minute mark on all things. So that's something that I'm trying to be aware of. But yeah, those are the big takeaways. So it was a very encouraging play test.
Cool. All right. Any last minute questions, comments, or should we get the heck out of here?
I'm good. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for bringing your thing on. We always extend the offer to bring it back when it's in a different stage and see what's up at that point. And of course, any other game in the future. Happy to have you on. Let's tell the fine folks at home where they can find us and support us. Why don't we start with you, Joshua?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways. You can go on Facebook and look up CakePie Games. We have a Facebook page. We have a fan group as well where we post stuff, interact. We have a Discord where we like to talk to people about what we're playing, and you can get more updates on the journey of this game. We're hoping to launch in 2025 for this Kickstarter. You can also, for me, you can listen to the Tabletop Submarine podcast. It's a storytelling podcast where we get a bunch of different people, guests from the industry, and they share their most memorable board game tabletop experience, and we just talk about it. It's a great time. Good. It's like a personal way to know some of the heroes in this industry. Like, at least for me, I get to meet my heroes. I get to talk with my friends lots of time, just talk about why board games are great. But that's the best way to support me, and that's the best way you can find me.
Awesome. I do listen to the Tabletop Submarine podcast, by the way. It's awesome.
And we don't worry, we've been talking about having you on, Evan. It's one of those things where like there's Andrew travels the world all the time, and
Yeah, he
I
does.
just trying to figure that out. So don't worry about that. We'll get you on one day. I think.
Andrew knows everybody, man.
He does.
Mike, is there a way that the people at home can find and support you at this juncture?
No, not really.
Fair
No,
enough.
don't talk to me.
Don't look at me, don't talk to me. But
Carry
in
your
the future, look out for Mike Nichols. Trevor, how can people find and support what you're working on?
Probably the best way is go to Facebook, hit the little search bar and type in Alcatraz Escape the City and join the group. And then from there, you'll be able to find everything. You want to play test it at all? Totally set that up with me. Just message me through Facebook and we can totally set up a test of it.
Awesome. Sasha, how can people find and support you?
There is a link to our Discord server, S&E Games, my design partner and I, where we sort of share stuff about our games and set up play tests. There's also a Facebook group for Devcoat called Devcoat the Board Game, which is a game about pigeons and pigeon keeping. It's a hoot.
It's a
it's a coup. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
make
a
it
different game. But yeah, anyways, that Facebook group or our Discord server is the best way to get in touch.
Awesome. I'm Evan Halbert. You can find After the Empire and buy 87 copies of that through Gray Fox Games or your friendly local game store. Please support those. And you can come on this show and join us live and join us in the chat and ask things and make fun of us when we make bad plays. Or bring your game on and we can give you our feedback on your game. Or you can just come on as a playtester and help us give feedback on other people's games. So that we're providing some stuff for folks. Most people don't watch it live; they watch it later, and hopefully, what we're doing here helps other people watch the process of playtesting and hopefully learn a few things that they can apply to their own designs at home. So thanks everybody for being a part of that. We really appreciate it, and by we I mean me. And always great to see you folks. And Joshua, pleasure to play a game, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's get out of here. We